Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to Sneaker News Facebook Live. Today is a very big day, as you know. Nike announced the quote-unquote release of the Power Lacing Nike Mag. Only 89 pairs are available, and the only way to get them is to get lucky. So basically, through the Nike Plus app, you can donate $10 towards Michael J. Fox Foundation for Parkinson's Research. And that $10 will entitle you a ticket to win one of the 89 pairs of the Power Lacing Nike Mag. They will not be on sale, they're not available anywhere else, but Nike will do 3 different auctions in China, LA, and in New York. So we don't have the Power Lacing Mags yet, but we do have a nice collection of Nike Mag inspired shoes that have been created over the years. Some of these were actual releases, some of these were promo pairs that we were very fortunate to get in our collections. So as you see, there are 4 boxes that we are very excited to show you. Hopefully you guys remember some of these. For some of you, you may have never seen these before. So let's check it out. We're going to start with the top and we're going to end with the shoes on the bottom. So let's go. Alright. Now this shoe is the first ever Nike Mag inspired shoe. It is, can anyone guess? It's the Hyperduck. This was released in 2008. It was a very, very limited release. Campouts were insane. Let's just show you the box. It says footwear on one side. There's a pretty dope graphic on this side. It's a size 12. It says basketball. There we go. So the reason why Nike decided to do a Hyperdunk inspired by the Mag, because the Nike Mag itself was actually inspired by the Mag, and therefore they created a really awesome colorway. As you can see, it has that very iconic Nike Mag Back to the Future look with the gray, with the light blue, hints of, let's see, the orange on the tongue, right there. Really awesome insoles. I don't know if you can really see that, but it's like a pink that matches the hoverboard that Marty McFly wore in that really iconic scene. Of course, it comes with secondary pink laces. The pink is a very iconic color to the Nike Mag. It gives it that pop, that futuristic look. So again, these released back in 2008, and there were campouts everywhere. I remember Undefeated had like a crazy campout for these, and right now these probably go for at least $1,000. The resale on these are pretty intense, but these are a collector's item. Like at that time, the Nike Mag, no one knew it was going to come out, so this was probably one of the best shoes of that year. Just to show you the inside packaging, the tissue says Great Scott, which is one of Doc Brown's iconic quotes from the film franchise that is. So yeah, this kind of set the tone for a whole bunch of Nike Mag inspired shoes that followed. There was a Nike SB shoe called the Zoom Tray AD that we unfortunately don't have, but it has the same colorway with the same speckle print in the gray and light blue. Another shot of the soles before we move on to the next one. So yeah, that's the Nike Hyperdunk from 2008. Let's move on to the next one. The next shoe is a very nondescript Nike Sportswear box. This shoe actually never released and was a promo pair, and again, because their promo pairs are really, really hard to come by. And this is kind of in the Hyperdunk family. This is the Nike Hypermax. Now the Hypermax was like an Air Max version of the Hyperdunk 2010 that came out that year. There were some pretty high energy colorways of this model that came out. The tennis ball joints was one of them. There were a whole bunch of PEs for their international athletes like Yi Jianlan and Pau Gasol. But the Hypermax was obviously, the McFly version of the Hypermax was probably the most coveted of all. It has the same Nike Mag inspired colorway. Let's just do a quick side by side with the Hyperdunk. As you can see, it shares that same iconic colorway. The Hypermax makes more use of the bright pink on the sock liner, and it has, you know, the stripe with the what do you call it, like the ribbons, and the material on this is kind of like, I guess you could say almost like a neoprene upper. Has a silver midsole with the light blue speckling, a bright pink colorway, you know. I mean, not that McFly had anything to do with LeBron, but this was kind of like the South Beach colorway before the South Beach came out in the LeBron 8s. So reveal the shoe. So as you can see, this is kind of came in a nondescript box. There was no special packaging for this. This was a promo pair, just kind of given out to friends and family. Materials are very, very unique. The shiny neoprene upper kind of gives it that futuristic look. Resale for these, you know, it's not really well known because these are kind of rare. It's not quite like an in-demand shoe, but it's one of those unicorns that kind of exist. This shoe was probably like in SneakerCon. This was probably like the most looked at shoe. I remember when we had it in 2010. Everybody was asking about it. You know, they didn't know the shoe existed. And there was actually a Hyperduck 2011 version of the Marty McFly that never released. And those were probably only on eBay for a lot of money. Let's package these up real quick. Move on to the next one. Now this next shoe, many of you probably don't really know about. This was from Nike 6.0, which doesn't exist anymore. 6.0 was kind of like an action sports division for Nike, which is like skating, snowboarding, all that stuff. 6.0 doesn't exist anymore. And this shoe was, I believe, only available at PacSun or only select retailers. This package was very, very limited. And as you can see here, it has the logo. If you can guess it, it's from the DeLorean. And what makes this box so awesome is that it actually opens up like the DeLorean. So the box flaps kind of open up like this. If anyone's watched the movie or knows what the car is, you can see why this is such an awesome box. Again, it has like the car logo right there. And the shoes that these were part of is the Nike Dunk SE. Let's pull the shoes out first. Now the Nike Dunk SE is it's kind of like a vault sole version of the Nike Dunk. This is completely seamless upper. It has no upper panels like the regular Nike Dunk does. And it's silver and black with the black piping. This is kind of meant to mimic the DeLorean shoe. And in the back, it has, again, the DeLorean logo. Quick close-up shot of the tongues. I mean, if anyone has this shoe, there's a version with the regular Nike 6.0 box. If you guys have this shoe, it's a very nice collector's item, but this box version is probably one of the most sought after ones. They're really rare. Not really sure how many pairs are out, but also came with, this came with a really awesome placard, which kind of detailed the shoe, as you can see. Oh, sorry, the sole, which is just like the taillights of the DeLorean, the orange, the yellow, orange, the red, and the white. And in the placard just has a little more detailing. It goes through a step-by-step detail of how the car and the shoes match. Alright, so let's box this up real quick. And finally, in 2011, Nike released this shoe. This was September 2011. There was no teasers, none of that. It was just, it kind of came out of nowhere. They did a release at 21 Mercer, and the Sneaker News office was like a block and a half from where 21 Mercer is. We're still really close by. They said, hey, be here at 4:55 p.m. We headed there. There was a huge box outside, like the size of a car, so we had an idea of what it was. And of course, it was a DeLorean. And then, of course, this shoe got unveiled. This is the Nike Max from 2011. This is an exact replica of the shoe that Tinker Hatfield designed for that movie. However, it does not power lace. It does have all the lights and stuff. Let's see. There we go. It still lights up. It's nice and charged. Now, this shoe was limited to 1,500 pairs. It was released only on eBay, and for 10 days, they released, I believe, 150 pairs a day or something like that, and they're all auctioned off, and all the proceeds went to the Michael J. Fox Foundation for Parkinson's Research. I think they raised around $4.7 million, and the founders of Google actually matched that donation to bring that amount even higher. So this is, not only was this a collector's item, but this was a very a charitable endeavor for Michael J. Fox and the Parkinson's Disease Research Foundation. The average price for these went for around $4,300. The first and the last day had like the highest bid amount. Some went for like 10 G's. Nike also had live auctions, and I believe Teeny Tempa in the London auction paid like 25 G's for a pair, something like that. And right now, this version of the mag probably goes for anywhere from 7,000 at the low end to about 12,000 on the high end. So yeah, these are an exact replica of the shoes. After these came out, there's so many like fake replicas that are coming out for Halloween costumes and things like that. This is the box that comes with the plug to charge up the shoes. Not really going to show you that, it's not too important. And of course, it comes with this little paper that I do not want to open because it's still pristine. But it says it's about time. You know what, we'll open it up. I should pull it out. There you go. So this is a really awesome CD-ROM, back when CDs were still a thing. It has Tinker Hatfield's original sketches of the mag. And it's pretty insane to think that this was originally designed in the 80s, you know, that's just the level Tinker Hatfield is on. And for him to see the shoe actually come into production was probably a dream come true for him. You see there's definitely some Michael Jordan inspiration and all this stuff. I mean, this is just amazing. And, you know, of course today they finally announced the quote-unquote release of the self-lacing version. And on this side is a really awesome poster of the shoes. Okay, let's slowly box that up. Also came in this yellow box, and it had the size like right there. It even says what size it was. And Nike actually gave out a miniature version of this shoe for his friends and family. It's like a nice, cool figurine, something for display. There were also pins as well that were given out, I believe, in the LA and New York City events. Just give you a close-up shot of that. So it's like a nice replica figurine of the mag. Doesn't light up or anything, but it's really high quality, definitely a collector's item. So this was again in September 2011. And finally, you can't really be complete with the hoverboard. Now this is a replica hoverboard from Mattel. This is not in conjunction with Nike at all, but we kind of had to get it. We had these for a while in our office, and now we're showing you 4 of the various McFly inspired shoes that are released throughout the years. There's also a Hyperduck 2011, and also a Nike SB shoe called the Zoom Trade AD. Those are still probably the most affordable ones, but oh yeah, these are the this is from 6.0.
And there was a Dunk SB as well.
There was a Dunk SB? Oh, there was a Dunk, sorry, there was an SB Dunk as well, I forgot. It was more of a general release that dropped, I believe, a year ago. It had the same kind of material as this. It was kind of like a neoprene upper, but had the same colorway as this shoe. And yeah, there's not much quote-unquote hype around them, but it was a very, very awesome release. Good for Nike SB. But of course, this is a shoe that everybody cares about. So yeah, this is just some of the McFly stuff in our collection. Hopefully we're lucky to get one of the 89 pairs, but again, it's the only way to enter is to donate $10, and there's no limit to how many tickets you can enter. If you want more information on that, you can go to sneakernews.com or check our social media. So yeah, let us know which one of these four you like best. Is it the Mag, the Hypermax, the original Hyperdunk, the DeLorean Dunk 6.0? Yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Bye.